Hello everyone, welcome to the class once again. I hope you're all doing good and you're the best of your health. So you must be remembering that in the first exercise of this chapter, Mechanical Properties of Fluids, we have discussed the first 5 questions based upon the JEE Main pattern exercise. I have told you JEE Main examination question are of single choice and the level of difficulty will be moderate. It will be not too tough, not too easy. Now after solving the first 5 questions, let's go ahead with the next 5 which will describe what kind of questions do come in the JEE Main examination. Let's go ahead with the question number 6. A large open tank has 2 holes in the wall. You can see that it's a tank, there are 2 holes in the wall. One is a square hole of side L at the depth y from the top, and the other is a circular hole of radius r at a depth 4y from the top. When the tank is completely filled with water, the quantities of water flowing out per second from both holes are same. That means rate of flow is same from both the holes. That means volume of water coming per unit time or per unit second, that will be same. Then R is equal to A L by root 2 pi, B 2 pi L, C L D L by 2 pi. I hope that you can clearly imagine the scenario given in this question, and the scenario is pretty much clear, I believe, to you all. There's a tank. I have drawn a tank here and there are 2 holes. Now you see here, a large open tank has 2 holes in the wall. So 2 holes, one is a square hole of side capital L. Square hole of side capital L at a depth y from the top, and the other is a circular hole of radius r at a depth 4y from the top. A square hole of side capital L at a depth y. So let me show you all here. We have a square, I'm drawing the dimension of the hole. A square hole at a depth y from the top, and you have a circular hole at a depth 4y from the top. Pretty much with the diagram we can easily make out what kind of holes. I have drawn separately to actually make out what kind of hole is being drawn. This L, its radius is given as r. Now you see that this hole is made, and if we fill this tank with water, let me show you that it is filled completely with water. Now if water is completely filled in this tank, then certainly one thing is clear, it's going to gush out freely from both the holes. So water is going to come out from this hole. Let's say its speed is V1, and let's say water is coming out from this hole is V2. Let me show you separately as they come. Let's say they are landing somewhere here. Don't think that they will be landing at the same point. They may land at the same point, or they may land at different points. Now next thing you see here, it says that the rate of flow is same from both the holes. You see here, when the tank is completely filled with water, the quantities of water, this statement, the quantities of water flowing out per second from both holes are the same. That is, volume rate of flow will be same. Now it's very easy for us to proceed from here on. First of all, you see I have made here V1 as the velocity, efflux speed coming out from this hole. V2 is the speed of efflux coming out from this hole. We all know that if I comment on V1, V1 will be equal to under root 2 Gy, because under root 2 Gh is the formula for velocity of efflux. This is y, so we have to use under root 2 Gy. V2, that will be equal to under root 2g into 4y, because this height is 4y, so we have to take this as 4y. Next thing, let's say the area of this hole is A1 and the area of this hole is A2. Let's say this is provided to us. Next thing, it says that the rate of flow from both the holes are same. So I am writing rate of flow is same. Rate of flow is same from both the holes. So we will be having volume rate flowing per unit time from first hole is equal to volume rate flowing per unit time from second hole. Rate of flow, can we write that volume coming out per unit time? That will be equal to area into velocity. So let's write this as A1 V1 will be equal to A2 V2. Area of the first hole, that will be because volume rate of flow is same. So A1 into V1. Area will be L square, and V1 we have written as under root 2 Gy. A2, if I comment on the area of the second hole, that's a circular hole. You can make out a circular hole. So area will be pi r square. Let us write here pi r square and under root 2G into 4y. 2G into 4y, this is what you can comment. Now very easily you can proceed. Some terms will be cancelled under 2Gy, under root 2Gy will be cancelled out, to be left with L square is equal to 2 pi r square. L square is equal to 2 pi r square. This is what you can write. 2 will come out, 2 pi r square. So finally, r will be equal to L upon root 2 pi. Believe that it's clear to everyone. With you, r equals to L by root 2 pi. Let's check with the answer. We have the very first option A, r equals to L by root 2 pi. This is the right option. B, incorrect. C, incorrect, and D, incorrect. Accordingly, if you follow all these steps, you will get the right answer, and if you miss on any of the step, you cannot comment on which option will be matching with the right answer as per the given. If you just analyze the options, you cannot comment on the answer if you don't proceed with the steps that we have just done here. This is a very good question which I have discussed here. I hope that it would make you all understand how you can use the velocity of efflux formula in such problems. So from this problem, also remember one thing, the speed of efflux is under root 2 Gh. That also the formula students do forget, and they think that they will derive on the day of examination. But time is less, you have to solve many questions. So it's better to remember the basic formulae that we have discussed here. Next thing, we'll go ahead with the next question of the class. And I hope that you are learning with all these questions. Let's go ahead and let me wipe it more clearly. Hope that the board is now clear. Let's go ahead with the next question. Seventh one. The velocity of the liquid coming out of a small hole of a large vessel containing two different liquids of density 2 rho and rho as shown in figure is A under root 6 GH, B under root 2 under root GH, and C 2 under root 2 GH, D under root GH. Now see, you have hole at the bottom, two liquids are placed in this beaker. One is of density rho, its height is 2h, other is of density 2 rho, its height is h. Let me tell you, if you are going to apply the velocity formula V equals to under root 2 GH, that formula is only applicable when the entire liquid is uniform. You cannot take that under root 2 G and H you use as 3H here. Don't use that, you will say that under root 6 GH. Common mistake that a student will do in this question, let me tell you all. You will think that since just now we did a flux problem, you will think that velocity is equal to under root 2 GH. Density has got no role to play here. Place here H as 3H. So you will get under root 6 GH. This is the common mistake that a student does. Incorrect steps. You should know that in the case of velocity of efflux, the way we derive, we have taken that the entire liquid is uniform. This is not a uniform liquid. So we cannot apply here the efflux formula. But how to proceed? We have two liquids. There may be 3 liquids, 4 liquids. So this example will entail you to understand how to proceed when you have numerous liquids contained in a container. See here, let me draw this picture once again. We have a container, there's a orifice hole at the bottom. Now see here, the liquid contained is in this manner as shown. Here we have a liquid of density 2 rho, its height is h, and here we have a liquid of density rho, its height is 2h. I am going to discuss with you all the method that you should apply to solve this question. Two different parts. Now see here, this is separate liquid, this is separate liquid. Here the pressure is atmospheric pressure P naught, here the atmospheric pressure P naught exists. Now if I talk about pressure at this end, pressure at this junction of the two liquids, that will be equal to P naught plus rho g into 2h. Clear? Just now we discussed P naught plus rho g into 2h, that will be the pressure. Now the pressure at the topmost part of this lower level liquid, it's P naught plus 2 rho gh. Now this liquid is uniform. Now you can apply the Bernoulli's theorem in this part. So applying Bernoulli's theorem in the lower liquid, applying Bernoulli's theorem in the lower part, Bernoulli's theorem in the lower part of liquid, we will be obtaining, see here, first part, second part, it is at a height h. So using the pressure at this part is P naught plus 2 rho g h. We have used this for pressure. So P plus, after this we have to use rho g h. Rho is here 2 rho g into h. So 2 rho g h, this is for the density portion. Pressure we use, density we use, now half rho v square, because the velocity is 0, so need not to comment on this, that will be 0, is equal to pressure at this bottom part, that is P naught. Let's put here P naught plus rho gh is 0 plus half rho, and rho is again 2 rho. It's not only rho, it's 2 rho. Half rho v square. So we obtained this formula. Let's see which terms will be cancelled out. P naught and P naught you can cancel out, and here 2 and 2 can be cancelled out. You see rho can be taken common, it can be cancelled out now. Rho gone. 2gh plus 2gh, 4gh. 4gh is equal to v square, so v will come out to be 2 under root gh. V comes out to be 2 under root gh. This is the answer of this question. Let's go ahead. 2 under root gh. A under root 6gh, this is the common mistake that a student does. So if you are not knowing the method, you are going to mark this, that will be incorrect. Incorrect. 2 under root gh, this is the right answer we have reached. Incorrect, incorrect. Hope that in Flux case you have understood how to proceed, and if there are 3 liquids, 4 liquids, proceed accordingly as I have discussed. And I hope that now you will be having the idea. Try it on your own. You can frame a question on your own and you can try it. Take 3 liquids and try to find the velocity of efflux at the bottommost part. Height you can take on your own. Clear, I believe that with this question how you are going to solve such kind of question. Let's go ahead with the next question of the class. Question number 8. The radii of the two columns is U tube are R1 and R2. When a liquid of density rho, angle of contact is 0 degree is filled in it, the level difference of liquid in the two arms is h. The surface tension of the liquid is, you need to find out the surface tension of liquid, A rho gh R1 R2 upon 2 R2 minus R1, B rho gh R2 minus R1 upon 2 R1 R2, C 2 R2 minus R1 upon rho gh R1 R2, and D rho gh upon 2 R2 minus R1. We all know that height of liquid in any tube is given as 2s cos theta upon r rho g, where the symbols have their usual meaning. S is for surface tension, r is for radius, rho is for density, g is for acceleration due to gravity. Theta is for the contact angle, that is 0 degree here. So since theta is given as 0 degree, you may use height as 2s upon r rho g. Level in the first one is h1 is equal to 2s upon r1 rho g. Level in the second one is 2s upon r2 rho g. So the difference, if you take h1 minus h2, this will turn out to be, take 2s as common here and upon rho g as common, so we will be getting 1 upon r1 minus 1 upon r2. Simplify this formula, you will be obtaining 2s upon rho g, and this will turn out to be r2 minus r1 divided by r1 r2. Clearly this difference in the height is given as h, so h will come out to be, and we need to find out these value of surface tension S. So S comes out to be from this formula. S is the subject, so rho GH, this R1 R2 will go in the numerator, multiplied with R1 R2 divided by 2, and you will be having R2 minus R1. This is the formula that you are going to obtain, rho GH R1 R2 upon 2 R2 minus R1. Let's check. Rho GH R1 R2 upon 2 R2 minus R1, and yes, this is the right answer we have reached. So A option is the right, B is incorrect, C is also incorrect, D is also incorrect. So I hope that you have understood how to approach. You should remember this basic formula, H is equal to 2s cos theta upon R rho G. If you know this, you can easily proceed with the question. Next question of the day, and before that, just let me clear the board. All such questions would be of great help to you all in solving the unsolved problems in your chapters, the exercise portion that will be given in your book. Let's go ahead with the next question of the class. So I hope that you have understood this question number 8, and it's a good question so that you may be remembering the formula for the capillary rise. Let's go to the question number 9. A capillary tube of radius r is immersed in water, and water rises in it to height h. Mass of water in capillary tube is m. If the radius of the tube is doubled, mass of water that will rise in capillary tube will be A 2m, B m, C 8m, and D 4m. I hope that you have understood. A capillary tube you have of a given radius, and the water will rise in the tube. The mass of water that has risen in the tube, that is given as capital M. If the radius of the tube is doubled, you see that if the radius of the tube is doubled, mass of water that will rise in capillary tube will be A 2m, B m, C 8m, and D 4m. So we need to find out how mass is dependent upon radius. Now see that in a capillary tube, if I draw a capillary tube in this way, and let's say water has risen up till this level. This is what is given. Let us say this is height h. I have only drawn the capillary tube, I have not drawn the vessel in which it is kept. The mass is equal to height into area, that will be volume, height into area, that will be volume, and then you have density, so you can do in this way. Area is what? Area can be written as pi r square, not a problem, you can write in this way. So if I take pi rho h into r square, this will be the value of mass. So the first thing what a student will do a mistake, a common mistake, he will think that since radius is doubled, so if r is doubled, you will get here 4 times this value, so we will do that mass will be 4m of the initial mass. So you must be thinking that 4m, that will be the answer. But you see here, height can also vary if the radius is doubled. We all know that the height is 2s cos theta upon r rho g. This is what is the value of height. So if I put the value of height h here, you see if I put the value of height h here, we are going to obtain rho into pi in this way. Then you have height 2s cos theta upon r rho g, 2s cos theta upon r rho g, because height is dependent on radius, multiplied with r square. From here you see 1r and this 1r will be cancelled out. All the rest terms are constant. Let me cancel out this also, you will be getting 2 pi s cos theta divided by, and more you will be having here g, and here you will be having r. This term is constant. So what you are getting mass is proportional to radius. Mass is proportional to radius. So if radius is doubled, mass will be also doubled. That is the thing that you can make out. So if radius is doubled, mass will be doubled. if radius is doubled, mass will be doubled. This is what we can comment. Let's go ahead, let's see the option which is matching. Mass of water that will rise in capillary tube will be A 2m, B m, C 8m and D 4m. So 2m will be the answer because mass will be doubled. Rest all options are incorrect. This is a mistake that a student can do. 4m. Don't do this mistake. That's advisable. M you can cancel out. Let's go ahead with the next question. And I hope that you have got to know how wisely you have to use the capillarity formula. Now questions, basic questions can be asked in the JEE main examination and even JEE advanced examination also. So you should be thorough with each of the formula and each of the steps that we take, and even derivation also you need to remember, so that you know the method how we have got this capillarity rise formula. Let's go ahead with the next question. 10th, the area of cross section of the wider tube shown in figure is 800 square centimeter. So this area of cross section is given as 800 square centimeter. If a mass of 12 kg is placed on the massless piston, this is a massless piston, the difference in the height h in the level of water in the two tube is A 10 centimeter, B 6 centimeter, C 15 centimeter and D 2 centimeter. See here in this case how to proceed. It says that area of cross section is given, that's 800 square centimeter. Now the pressure applied at this end will be equal to the pressure applied due to this part of the fluid. We can say that H rho G, that is the pressure at the other end, will be equal to force upon area, or we can say H is equal to force upon A rho G, and force is how much? That will be equal to mg upon A rho G. Clearly G and G will be cancelled out. Mass you put, that is given as 12 kg. Area, that is given as 800 square centimeter. Convert it into square meter, you will getting multiply with 10 to the power minus 4. Then you have rho density. It says that and here you have the level of water. Water density is 10 to the power 3 kg per cubic meter. So 10 to the power 3 you may multiply. So you will be having 12 divided by, here you will be having 10 to the power minus 4, 10 to the power 3, 10 to the power minus 1, and here you will be having 12 by 80. That will be the answer, 12 by 80 in meters. So if I write in centimeters, that will be equal to 1200 divided by 80 in centimeters. 10 will be cancelled out. Clearly you can see that what will be the level, that will be equal to 15 centimeter. This is the difference in level of the two columns. So 15 centimeter, let's check. A 10 centimeter, no. B 6 centimeter, no. C 15 centimeter, yes. 2 centimeter, no. Very easy question. You should know how to proceed with such U-tube question, and already we have done this case. We have done the case of hydraulic lift. That's how the hydraulic lift works also. So you must be knowing how to proceed with such kind of question. So this is all we have, the set of 10 questions for a JEE main preparation. After this exercise, I will advise you all, do also solve more previous year questions. That would be helpful. More good questions given in your textbook, that will be of great help to you all. Till the time, thank you everyone. Wish you all the very best. I'll meet you in the next class with more questions, with more concepts. Thank you everyone.